Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. Manuel Ugarte to Paris Saint Germain is what we're going to be discussing in this video. We're going through the price tag, potential price tag for Ugarte to Paris Saint Germain, how he will line up at Paris Saint Germain, comparing him to midfielders we're linked with and with our current midfielders, and taking a look at some of his individual stats. But first of all, let's look at the reports. Just in, PSG has reached an agreement with Manuel Ugarte, according to RMC Sport. Breaking PSG one, Manuel Ugarte, he's a concrete target in terms of deal have already been discussed. Manuel Ugarte is expected to be PSG's first signing of the summer. Paris are set to trigger 60 million release clause. Just in, Chelsea are ready to match PSG's offer of 60 million for Manuel Ugarte. Chelsea have been recently sent representatives to Lisbon. The Uruguayan will have the last word. And lastly here, Justin, PSG have offered 60 million to Sporting for Manuel Ugarte. Paris wants to pay this amount in installments. Luis Campos and Jorge Mendes already have an agreement in principle. Chelsea and Newcastle are also ready to pay 60 million for Ugarte. Talking a bit about Manuel Ugarte, 22-year-old number 6 central midfielder, central defensive midfielder. 25 million market value with the contract expiring in 2026. But as we saw with those reports, we have a small bit of competition with Chelsea FC, but we can offer more money. They don't have a Champions League spot. And Manuel Ugarte has already reached an agreement with Paris Saint Germain, showing that he will obviously take PSG over Chelsea in this race. The only thing that can happen negatively for this deal is that we want to pay it in installments, and Lisbon would obviously want the money as soon as possible. Maybe Chelsea can offer that, but as I said, the decision mostly goes to Ugarte. If the release clause is met, Lisbon have nothing more to say, and it's all between Ugarte and his future club, which is Paris Saint Germain. Passes attempted 60, pass percentage, progressive carries, tackles, interception, blocks, clearances, aerials, one here. Stats for Ugarte, and as you can see, very, very nice stats from the Uruguayan midfielder playing his stint at Sporting Lisbon, and he has been a once to watch. He has been an exceptional player for Sporting Lisbon, both in Liga NOS and in the Europa League, and even a bit previously when they were in the Champions League group stages. But he's pretty much a generational talent in his position. He can play as a number 6 alongside 2 midfielders in a 3-man midfield with Vitinha and Verratti alongside him, and he can potentially play as well in a 2-man midfield, a 2-man pivot, him and Verratti. That would be absolutely beautiful. And the thing with Ugarte is he takes all of that defensive ability, defensive contribution, so that Verratti can unleash his powers on the attacking front. And I wanted to compare him to our current midfielders. He's lost in passes attempted, lost in progressive passes, and lost in progressive carries. But as you can see, Verratti ticks those boxes. We don't need that from Ugarte. What we need from Ugarte is first in aerials 1, first in tackles, first in interceptions, second in blocks, and second in clearances. That's what I like to see, because him and Verratti, that's a perfect dynamic. You can see Verratti takes off the first stats, green, and then Ugarte, it's the bottom stats, the defensive stats, the aerials ones, the tackles, interceptions, the blocks, the clearances. And that's why he is. He's a defensive specialist with a good passing ability for being at central defensive midfielder. And then I wanted to compare him to other midfielders we're linked with, like Sangare, who we also have a mutual agreement with, and Sofiane Amrabat. And I also added Zerouki, who is the number 6 playing for FC Twente in the Eredivisie, a player that I've been holding stocks for a very long time, and I just wanted to showcase his stats alongside these players. So as you can see, Ugarte lost in passes attempted, lost in progressive passes, lost in progressive carries, and lost in clearances, but first in passing percentage, showing that as a number 6, his passing ability is much better than the other 3 names here. Tackle-wise, first, interceptions first, blocks first. And that's exactly what Paris Saint Germain want from their number 6. The tackles, the interceptions, the blocks, and the aerials 1. Sangare as well, very mid stats, passes attempted, pass percentage, progressive carries, and tackles, all in the 3rd place area. But he's good at blocks, clearances, and aerials 1. Amrabat, he's a passer. He's more of the Busquets number 6, so as you can see, his defensive stats are not that great. He's much better with the ball than the other three candidates, even though Ugarte has a better passing percentage. But then I just want to take a look at Zarouki. I know he's playing in the Eredivisie, but same goes for Sangare. But look at those stats. First in passes attempted, first in progressive passes, and first in aerials won. Second in progressive carries, tackles, interceptions, and clearances. I would love a Zarouki to Paris Saint Germain as a backup for Ugarte. But comparing Ugarte to Sangare and Amrabat, two DMs we've been linked with, we can obviously see that Ugarte gives us exactly what we want and is a much better profile than both the other two candidates, even though both of them would be cheaper than Ugarte. And as I said before, according to reports, he has a 60 million release clause at Sporting Lisbon, which as soon as Paris Saint Germain takes, Sporting have no say over the transfer. They cannot say we want more money. It's over. 60 million is the price tag if Ugarte joins Paris Saint Germain. And I will give this signing a probability of 9 out of 10 of it happening. We've already had a mutual agreement with Manuel Ugarte. We have sent in the 60 million bid. All that's left now is, the final details in this signing, and giving this signing a rating, even though he will cost 60 million, this for me is a 10 out of 10 signing. He's 22 years old and it's exactly the profile we're looking for. A DM that wins the ball so many times, but is also good with the ball to play in a top side like Paris Saint Germain. And a player like Ugarte will only make Verratti and every other player alongside him play 10 times better. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about the signing of Manuel Ugarte to Paris Saint Germain? That's been it. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the PSGINT YouTube channel, and as always, allez Paris!